People have heard this infamous line from one of the playwrights in the theatre department, William Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. The answer technically is to be. I do not know. 50% of the time, I came in as a theatre major, not knowing a lot. But anywho, if you're interested in becoming an actor, here are some few things you may want to know. 1, if you're planning on auditioning, you have to at least have a monologue script, a song, and just something prepared as just a little bit of improv. 2, you need to learn how to improv. If you remember the thing that I was talking about earlier with dance, how improv is a thing. So in regards to being an actor, if you forget your lines and you have nothing else to do and the world is staring at you, the one thing, and this will help you as an actor or becoming an actor or an actress, think of something on the spot. It will save you. Probably almost the character. It takes, because in regards to when the show actually happens, you don't have your script in hand. Because you can't be like, oh, terribly sorry. You can't be like, and he has said to me that he was the one responsible for the death of my long departed cousin, King Darius. And because it would be weird and people be looking at you like, why does this person have their script while they're on stage in costume? And this is how I'm going to take this from it as in a different way of not using your script. So let's use a scene from one of my favorite shows called The Owl House. Do not underestimate me, for I am the good witch Azura. Line, that happens too. Do not underestimate me, Mouse, for I am the good human Luce. Child of the human realm, student of the demon realm, and warrior of peace. Now eat this, sucker! You know what? It'd be easier if I technically just pull the clip in and it will explain it itself. Okay, and I bet that clip did a better explanation than I could, as, said. So, let's get into the next thing. To understand the theater, you must embrace your inner self and workings. To realize you are indifferent. You must be well of your... Oh, so sorry, I cannot even think of a really interesting monologue with that. Okay, so we have covered music. We understand music theory. We understand how the creation of how, let's say, our favorite songs will take over a short span of time. We understand dance, the understanding of choreography. We understand that dance block is a thing, and let's reminder of that little tip that I gave you guys. And lastly, we are in the last bit of the performing arts. If I can get a quick drum roll from the people in the classroom. You guessed it, it is theater. Now, I was wondering, Khalil, isn't dance and music technically in theater? You are correct. But in regards to, I want to talk about theater in its entirety by itself. Now, question, has anybody seen posters around campus in regards to big performances for the theater arts? Oh. I thought it was going to be a lot less, but yeah, it happens. So, you might have seen or heard about the theater program. Now, isn't the theater just, basically just acting on stage and everything else? You would be wrong because of one simple thing. There's just more than just being an actor. You can choose to create the costumes that the actors wear. You are responsible for makeup. You can be responsible for just learning all the things behind the stage as in the creation of scenic design to lighting. Now, let's just start with something simple and let's begin with acting. Well, let me actually finish. Acting takes a lot of time, dedication. You have to be the character, and you have to embrace the character. You can't be yourself on stage. Like, for example, if you have to pretend you're a vampire who has died and live for 1,000 years to find love, yada, yada, yada. You have to be the vampire who is yearning for the long-lost love. Or you are a nobleman of the during the times of Queen England, Queen Elizabeth I. You have to understand with a little bit more of the British accent. You have to have your pinkies up, have a little bit more vernacular there. Or, for example, if you're part of Scotland Yard and you would choose to speak a little bit more like this if you're part of a Scottish detective agency, or you're working under, say, for example, Sherlock Holmes and you're Watson. It depends. It depends. So you have to be the part and play the part. So you're wondering, that's on stage. What's happening backstage? Okay, let's see. We focused on from acting on stage, and we focused on everything from costumes backstage. But are we done? No, we are not. We're going to focus on two more aspects of theater. We're going to focus on lighting and set design. So now, if you heard me mentioning earlier in regards to storyboard creation, we also use the storyboard creation to create the sets that we will use and planning on using. And we do not actually create big sets, and I'm mainly focusing on the theater on NAU's perspective. We create the small little instances to how we can create backgrounds and backdrops to get the ideal and feeling of the set that we're going to use, as though you are there, but technically you're not, because of it will take a long time to take down an entire set as much as we want to build it. We have to mainly focus on a multitude of things: the rough draft of a set, if we want to use a backdrop, and how much of the set we're planning on using as well. Which, the end result can be very, very, very interesting. I believe one of the shows I was able to go do backstage, it was the Mr. Burns show, and how they were able to create a turning set that involves able to use it for a multitude of things at the same time. So we can use it as a boat, we can use it as a boathouse, and even use it as a post-apocalyptic New York, in a way, to describe certain things. And speaking of, I'm going to do one of my favorite lines from that play, so bear with me, it's been a minute. Oh, such a day, such a day. You're just gonna stand there, you're not to come greet me, or that is because of the fact of, before y'all start plotting, I get real shy about that. I literally learned that from, like, watching. And also, that's one of the things. As an actor, or someone who's more backstage at scenic design, we learn more of the script from watching it from rehearsals. Because every single part of the branches of the performing arts, you go through a rehearsal. Music, you have to make sure the music cues are on point, and you just make sure you just have constantly make sure you're hitting those notes. Dance, you have a pre-dress rehearsal, a dress rehearsal, a costume rehearsal, and the final show. And with theater, oh god, it's longer. For people who are creating stuff backstage, you will have to be responsible if the scene has to change, making sure you're not getting in the way of the actors, along with, you just gotta make sure that you're just paying attention to the cues. And also, the one other thing is, you have to be real quiet on stage, or the audience will literally hear you. I don't know why, it's just one of the main things, like, audience has those super ears or some stuff like that. So that is one of the other things. And now, lastly, you know, everything, you guys might have questions for acting, costumes, but I think there's one more thing I'm forgetting. What is it? Oh, right, lighting. Now, how do you think lighting is set up? Well, for the lighting, there are cues. Because in certain scenes, we have to depict of the certain times of the day. For example, if you want, say, a light, bright, fluorescent light, you have to go for like a yellow light or yellow or orange light to give it the lighting shows it in the morning, and it has to go slowly rising. As the curtains are rising, the light will come on and cue, that would be the scene. If the scene is sad or dark, you have a slow minimum lighting or a dark blue lighting that shows it is sad, someone has died, or just something very, very tragic happened. That will give you for that lighting. The cues will be kind of correlating to how the plate will be set up and how you want the lighting to go. I never really don't have that much experience in lighting. It's just something I wanted to talk about. And also, lastly, in regards to, you have to basically add for more effects. You want to have like rain aftermath, fog machine, or a haze machine. If you want to have the use of music, you'd be responsible for the creation of sound on stage. Creation of things such, for example, you want to create a bird, or just out of nowhere, random thing that's just falling. Something like that. It just regards to a lot of things you have to learn and practice. Well, not learn and understand for the cues on and off stage. Wow, that is a lot to talk about. All right, I think I'm a little bit over on time. So, I hope this gives you a better understanding of all these different branches. And I have a question for you. Did you figure out which branch you want to do? If so, I hope you had fun with it. Bye for now.